What's up? Joe Montgomery here from educationlawyers.com. Just want to go over a little bit of news with you today. And it sounds contrary to the work we do, but I think it's actually really important, right? Because I don't necessarily believe that learning loss is a misnomer, as this article from Education Week says. But if we do take their word for it, let's see, collapse. If we do take their word for it, this article is telling us that learning loss in general is a misnomer. Study shows kids made progress during COVID-19, right? So I would have personally started with the assumption that kids did not make progress as would be expected during COVID-19 generally. But if we're to believe that students are making progress and we're making progress, then I think that for sure makes it even more important if you have a child who did not make progress, right? So now the school can't just say, oh, it's okay, no one made progress, everyone was failing, or everyone was not, no one was really progressing as they should have, so your child's no different than the others. Well, that's not the case according to this article, right? According to this article, students were in fact making progress. So if you're a parent and you have a child that was not making progress, that's even more reason for you to give someone a call, whether it's an advocate or an attorney or one of us here at educationlawyers.com, to see what's going on, right? So here we go. Even though the pandemic has interrupted learning, students are still making progress in reading and math this year, according to a new analysis from the assessment provider Renaissance. The company looked at a large sample of students, about 3.8 million students in grades 1.8 who had taken STAR assessments, which are interim tests in either math or reading during the winter of the 2021 school year. And as you can see, they were comparing these scores to the fall 2019 and fall 2020 school year. Only students who had taken STAR tests in each of those three periods were included in the analysis, so they had some baseline data to compare to. And this article is telling us that overall, the analysis found student scores rose during the first half of the 2021 school year. In other words, children did make academic progress during COVID-19. Look, people are already calling. My child didn't. My child didn't make educational progress. Help me. Here we are. We're here to help if you need it. In other words, children did make academic progress during COVID-19. Even more encouraging, the amount of progress made was similar to what Renaissance would expect in a non-pandemic year. So there you go. Children were making progress during COVID-19, according to this article. So if you have a child that was not making progress, then you really are a victim, right? These other people aren't. Other people were making progress. So if your school failed to provide a free, appropriate public education to your child, now that you know that other students were making progress, if your child did not make progress, I think that's a really big deal. And I think that's worth giving an attorney a call, because Katie McClarty says learning loss in general is a misnomer. Kids' scores are going up. If your kid's scores not going up, give us a call. educationlawyers.com. For the most part, the gap between where students' scores are now and where Renaissance would estimate them to be in a normal year is shrinking. But the company found the gap still exists. Using past results, the researchers made an estimate of how well students would have done on these tests had the pandemic not hit. Then they compared the estimate to students' actual scores from this winter. They looked at students' percentile ranks and norm reference score that compares the students' performance to that of other students in the same grade nationwide. The scale was last updated in 2017. All right, so here we go. If the kid's not represented, it's the kids not represented that we really have to worry about, Marion said. So another consideration is that students who are able to take these interim tests, either because they attend in-person class or have a reliable internet connection, may be qualitatively different than those who aren't included in these samples, right? And I think maybe that's who I'm talking to right now, right? People who your school didn't provide you with the technology, you didn't have the in-person learning opportunities that other students have, you didn't have that top-notch, grade A, federally compliant education, even if it was Zoom or some other virtual method. The most vulnerable students with the least access to instruction may not be present in these numbers. I know this for sure. They're not present in these numbers because every day we're seeing student after student who was denied an appropriate education over the last year, over the last 18 months. Again, more calls, people just calling. Look, if your child did not make progress during COVID-19, you need to do something about it. We're here, we're standing by. Give us a call. I'm taking a call right now. Joe Montgomery, educationlawyers.com. How can I help you?